Good morning, folks. Welcome to Cuss and Discuss, to the smartest, most intelligent, and the most active audience in the world. We appreciate each and every one of you. Putin has issued, now for the news of the day, Putin has issued an ultimatum as a hurricane smashes Florida. Putin issues the ultimatum to the United States to leave Eastern Europe. Get out. And the presidents and the people are behind Putin. Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, after the attempted invasion of Russia on the 2nd of September, they said enough. The United States is arming their weapons in Romania right now with Tomahawk cruise missiles with nuclear tips. So Russia has moved tens of thousands of nuclear weapons to their border to destroy the United States. So is China. Their submarines are now in launch position. And Putin said, get out of Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and Poland. Didn't the Federalist Papers warn us of foreign engagements, Jane?
Yes.
Didn't Benjamin Franklin said a small government is a government that's best? And now we have this huge fascist government running every part of our lives.
And everybody else's, too.
Yeah, and everybody else's. They feel that once they rule the United States, they can rule the rest of the world. So Russia said, along with a dozen nations, get out of our countries. Now. But like typical to the Obama people, they're not listening. Also, Russia canceled the plutonium processing agreement because plutonium, which is made when you have nuclear reactors, it's a man-made element. When you make it, you can make thermonuclear devices. And Russia says we're going to reduce the amount of plutonium to 43 tons. Excuse me? It's 7 pounds to destroy Nagasaki. They have 43 tons, and the United States is just stockpiling it?
Russia and the United States made a mutual agreement to destroy the plutonium that was going to
be made by reactors.
Yes. And so Russia was doing their thing, and we were supposedly to do our thing, but I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
And so, anyway, now with the conflict coming up, Putin has pulled the plug on that. He says, I'm not going to do this anymore. We're not going to stop destroying the plutonium.
We're done with the United States in every way.
Yep.
I mean, is it any wonder we must have 5,000 nukes on the border with Russia right now?
Well, they know that there's no talking anymore.
No. And here's an overview of U.S. and EU sanctions on Russia. I mean, the United States simply seizes the funds. They're seizing Deutsche Bank funds. The Federal Reserve just seizes funds. And the Bank of
gold.
And gold, and everything else they can get their hands on.
What was it, Sweden or Norway that were moving their gold into a specific bunker, a military bunker? What was that?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Scared that the United States is going to come in and steal it?
Well, they're trying to get Yangsha Island in the South Chinese Sea that's been jointly managed by the Philippines and China for 66 years. Ever since 1945, they put in joint government, and they discover there's gold in the Philippines, and Chinese don't have any problem splitting it up. But the U.S. wants the gold, so China's shipping it to the Knights Templar, who's supporting Trump, the Knights Templar. Their gold is in Austria, and they're shipping gold out, and they're all hiding gold from the United States. Oh my God.
It's a trend.
Under Obama and Bush, we become and Clinton, we've become the thieves of the world.
I just can't believe it's happened in our lifetime, Bill.
We've watched the United States turn from the good guys to the nasty guys.
Yeah, really bad nasty.
Nasty. I mean, look what Carter did in supporting the Mujahideen back in '78 that turned into I.S.I.S. We're not allowed to say that word.
Yeah, don't say it.
We can't say I.S.I.S. It's illegal for us to say that. They'll ban our videos. I mean, they're seizing. Here it is. They're seizing. This is from Reed Smith, overview of U.S. and EU sanctions on Russia. But the EU's not listening, are they, Jane?
No, they're not.
They're going right across the borders. They're going right into St. Petersburg. They're going right through Smolensk. They are not listening to the EU sanctions. People are running, smuggling, doing whatever they can. They've got the Russians down to $80 a month. What would we do on $80 a month?
Not much.
I mean, our rent would be paid for, and our electricity's paid for. But we'd have to buy food and clothing at $80 a month. And when I was in Russia in 2007, Pizza Hut pizza, they had a Pizza Hut pizza in Moscow, so we had to go. Contained all the GMO ingredients you could imagine. Because they shipped it in from the United States. It was still $5 a pizza. Which means 5 times 60 is like 3,000 rubles for a pizza. We bought a cup of coffee. It was $6 a piece for a cup of coffee in the government-owned hotel we stayed in. And that was 6 times, that was 180, 200 rubles for a cup of coffee. And there were no refills. So I paid $12 to get 2 cups of coffee. Every morning, every afternoon, every night. That can be expensive to live in Russia. You know, Jane, it is really expensive there. Olya had 1 pair of shoes, 2 pair of pants, and 2 blouses when I got there. When I left, her closet was filled. I must have bought her 8 or 10 pair of shoes. And then all of a sudden, we can't call her. They can't get a hold of her. But it's really expensive. And to put sanctions on a nation where people are literally 1 pair of shoes with a hole in it is just criminal.
The other countries are pulling away from the United States sanctions because it's hurting their economy to such an extent where it is, they can't make their payments. I mean, they're on the verge of saying to the UN, forget it. We're going about our business the way, and I think a lot of the internal big business people are just saying, I'm not going along with this. We are going to continue business as usual because we can't afford not to.
Is it any wonder that Syria, North Korea, China, Russia, and Iran don't follow the central bank? And is it any wonder that the Chinese have now created their new Bank of International Settlements?
Yeah. Well, it's because of all this that's been going on. They've had it. And that doesn't mean that they're any better. It's just that they don't want the corruption when it comes to the money.
They're tired of it. Well, everybody seems to be corrupt at the top, but the United States seems to be corrupt and stealing everything. Now, the Washington Report, and we knew about this when I was in Russia. Baba Yanga, I think was her name.
She's blind.
She was born blind. She was actually kind of cute as a young gal. But she made prediction after prediction after prediction, and what she predicted was the end of the United States with the Obama regime.
Yeah.
30, 40 years ago, she said the Obama regime would, a black man would take over, and that would be the last president of the United States. 44 presidents of the U.S., 44 kings of Israel. We go down with Israel. That's what she said. I'm not so sure she's true. Things change. She made that prediction 40, 50 years ago. You can listen to her predictions live if you can speak Russian. They have Baba Vanga's predictions on natural disasters. They all seem to have come true. Now, on to the next thing, other than the fact that the United States is irritating the rest of the world.
Bringing us to World War III.
Bringing us to total destruction here in the United States. A hurricane named Matthew came across the ocean, went up, and was headed back out, and another hurricane was created.
Loop-de-loop.
Just did a loop-de-loop. Does anybody see a face in that? Eyeball, nose?
Yeah.
Anybody see a face? Sorry, we've got a call coming in. For some reason, we're not blocking the calls. Yeah, there's kind of a face in there. If that's not bad enough, look at that, Jane.
Well, anyway, it's supposed to hit tonight.
On land?
On land.
Well, it's got 150 miles. Look at what the
Florida's been evacuated.
Look at what the U.S. press says. Florida dodges a bullet. Hurricane Matthew weakens as it moves to the north. Weaken what?
California.
245 mile an hour or kilometer per hour winds. What kind of weakening is that? It was 250. Wow, it's gone down 2 miles an hour as it hits landfall. Unbelievable, Jane. The devastation from this hurricane. I've been through hurricanes when we lived in New Jersey. But this is what, the 4th hurricane? And they've gone too far. They knocked over a KFC bucket. They've gone too far. These are homes in Haiti. You know, they put a metal roof. Yeah. You put a metal roof on your house and you weigh it down with rocks and stones, and then the wind comes and
they don't have any resources in Haiti.
I mean, that's what they have.
They stole it all.
Yeah, they did. They went in and they devastated. That was a neighborhood. That was a neighborhood. There were people living there. Hurricane Matthew, LA Times. I mean, the American press is just so crooked. Here's another hurricane. Look at that. It hits China, Taiwan, and goes right on down the Chinese coast. Now, we showed the spray equipment. We got a note from some CIA clone that said, "Oh, that was spraying ice crystals." Really? Ice crystals.
Yeah, those are all...
Yeah, ice crystals. Ice crystals, Jane.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how they got in there. Ice crystals. That's just ice crystals, right?
So these are the planes that are changing our weather patterns.
That's correct.
And causing the destruction or whatever.
Yeah, the destruction. Yeah, these are all ice crystals, right? Ice crystals. That was the air wing out of Omaha, Nebraska, by the way.
Not too many years ago, people used to laugh at you when you were talking about geoengineering. They thought you were nuts. Not anymore.
There's Dryson Flight Research Center out of NASA. They own it. They now own Evergreen. They just create zeros and buy things. There it is, U.S. patent, stratospheric seeding for reduction of global warming, patent 5003186. They patented the seeding of the clouds.
Yep.
Unbelievable. So the United States, can only use United States-owned planes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is bad, absolutely meaningless. This was patented in March 26, 1991. George Bush signed an executive order to put aluminum dust in jet fuel to block global warming. But what we just saw was not aluminum dust in jet fuel. And then, Jane, you wanted to discuss this last story, which
this is weird.
Oh, man. This is somebody called Zanya. She was captured in Russia years ago, and this is her son, and this is her granddaughter. She looks like Harriet Tubman. Nothing against these people at all, but and no racial things intended, but the resemblance is there, and so they mated this gal. She was the ape woman. She was beaten horribly, and then became a pet. She used to bathe in the cold water, and she started bathing her children because she had 4 children.
She didn't like to live inside, and she didn't like to wear clothes because she was too hot.
And this came to light when they captured more murder victims in Michigan, and Bigfoot was put on the murder list
in Russia.
Michigan.
Oh, in
the state of Michigan.
Okay.
Now, 2-3 years ago, Russia put elves and dwarves on their human list. All of the things mentioned in The Hobbit were put on the actual Russian human list. Humanoids.
Okay. Because
if you take J.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and turn the map 45 degrees, you'll realize that that's Russia. So the hobbits lived towards Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, and the elves lived in the Valem Monastery, St. Petersburg, and the dwarves lived in the mountains to the east. And so they're now considering Michigan has put the Bigfoot creature on the list of potential murderers, which makes Yana or Zana a human. That actually makes her a human. They've classified her as a human now. That's the legal significance of putting her on the murder list. There's something about what happened to the 9 explorers.
Well, they were all dead.
Yeah, this is in Russia. And then remember that little section of Georgia that they invaded? To take the pipeline right along the Caspian, or here's the Caspian Sea, right on the Black Sea. Russia went in and took a part of Georgia to seize their pipeline. Well, that's the location of one of where 2 of the Bigfoots were seen. Apparently, they think, and this is from the head of Lockheed Martin space program, they think that where Bigfoot is spotted, that's the crew, 9 of them went out and were found torn apart, they think that where these things appear, we have kind of a wormhole to another universe. slightly out of time phase. And that where they appear, they're looking for the stargates that allow them to go into their universe. That's what Lockheed Martin thinks. So that where they appear, Russia took, that's part of the reason they took Crimea, because that peninsula has a couple of these sightings. They would be seen and then they disappear.
This was done in the 1867. This was an artist's impression.
No, this was actually a picture. They took one picture of her in 1867. She was trapped in the Caucasus Mountains. They chained her to a log, and then they chained her to a tree and just beat the snot out of her. They caught her like you catch a bear.
Yeah.
And then they threw her in a cage for 3 years where she slept in a hole, and they would throw food at her. Eventually, she wouldn't bite, and they let her out. And
but she didn't wander too far because she wanted to be by her food.
yeah, they would bring food out. She could never stand inside, so she dug a hole under an awning and slept there. She never aged until she died. All of a sudden, she aged and died. And the DNA of her descendants are that of the Neanderthal. I hope I don't get banned for this.
Why?
I don't know, because I love people and it's fascinating to see this. Yeah, there's a lot of bad depictions, but the real depiction are here. And the children, he got very angry and he used to beat people up. He's their son, and he lost his right hand because he got cut above or right below the elbow, and they had to amputate it. But he was strong, really strong, and he worked on a farm. The rest of them were just typical housewives. They fit in very well. His brother became a pianist.
Well, the brother wasn't violent.
No, he just started to play
She
piano.
had 4 kids and 2 of them lived.
Yeah, and so this is the grandchild. And then they may have pictures. I don't want to get too far here because there's a lot of kind of racist stuff in here, and it's really bad. But they have a picture of the great-great-grandson somewhere down here. Love is funny. I don't see the picture of the great-grandson here. It was here a minute ago. But he kind of looked like a normal guy, only he was huge. The guy stood 6'6" and looked kind of like a Neanderthal guy. Very sharp, looked just like that. Very sharp, very intelligent. Anyway, a note to Rick Wiles and his staff. If you need good luck. If you need a place to broadcast, here we are. Fly a couple of your crew in. We'd be sleeping on the floor, but we can do a 1-hour broadcast every day. If that hurricane turns around and continues to pummel Florida, your studio will be closed for weeks, and you can come here and relocate if you want. Anyway, pray that your families are ready for any emergency. The grocery stores in Florida, of course, are empty. And that's why we offer food from Montana and from Salt Lake. We want to thank you very much for your time, folks. God bless to each and every one of you, and pray that the people in the White House turn back to the living God or get the heck off this planet. Any final comments, Jane?
Nope, I just pray for the poor people down in Florida. I think it's just scary.
And we'll leave you with a positive thought, not this. That's the
these are the kitties.
new addition to the family.
Oh yeah, we got 6 of them.
And we've healed her eye. Her eye has been, this is 2 days ago.
Yeah, but they've completely changed since then.
We got them out of the wild.
Yep. But they're not wild.
Oh no, they love to play on us.
All they do is eat and sleep.
So we've already got 4 given away.
And we're in the middle of potty training.
Oh, they got the potty now, 2 days later.
We're in the middle of potty training.
So God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. And
She's doing really good now.
Oh, both her eyes are open. She's having so much fun. She's such a joy to have. Thank you very much. God bless. And any final comments, Jen?
That's it.
Okay, good night.